Tesla Diner is proof that Tesla is just a burger company, and what a terrible burger company they are. They've got 130,000 employees, but only one location. I can't believe this got out of the planning phase. Of course, we joke the Tesla Diner's wonderful, very successful, and we're going to have a quick chat about could they expand? Obviously, yes. What that might look like, and should they? I'm Brian. Welcome to Future Ozza. Yeah, it's just a burger company, Cern. Just a burger company.
Well, there are some burger companies that have done quite well, Brian. So maybe the burger business is the future for Tesla.
And it's interesting. You can watch the burger business ebb and flow. There are companies that have been around forever that are not doing well. There are brand new companies that are very expensive that are doing great. And then there's, In-N-Out, which is cheap and just busy. We got our first one in Washington a couple months ago. The line has not subsided. And I don't expect it to. Tesla Diner, first of all, what is it and why?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? It's at this point a bespoke location essentially in Hollywood, Los Angeles. That it's a very unique looking building, right? Parking lot with a couple of big TV screens where you can drive your car and you can charge it and get some food while you're there. And the question I ask, Brian, is why would Tesla just build one restaurant, right? And the logical answer to that is they wouldn't, they shouldn't. That they should be focused on building something that they can replicate in other places.
And we've seen the numbers they're putting up. They're pretty good. I'm just trying to get my hat assembled because I, of course, had a chance to go to the diner over the summer, and I got my.
And who says that Cybertrucks aren't selling, Brian? There's evidence right there that they're selling a lot of Cybertrucks.
Just like how the largest tire maker in the world is Lego, because they make a lot of tires. So, guys, yeah. So the diner's wonderful. It's not the cheapest meal in town. It's not the most expensive. The value is pretty good. The people I've seen complaining about the price are people who haven't been to a restaurant lately, who are not aware that even garbage, McDonald's is $12-15 depending what you get. We don't generally go to places like that. Well, and now the question is, what is the purpose of this location today?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure that I've got a great answer for that, other than, that's Los Angeles is a great city to start something. There's a lot of people there. And also, I would imagine that once they roll out Robotaxi in Los Angeles, that'll be the number one destination for Robotaxi rides, is take me to the diner.
And I think also it's a halo. It's a flagship. It's something that gets people talking. And I don't know what the diner costs to build, surely millions and millions. But I think if you wanted to run an ad campaign that would get you that many eyeballs, it would cost you more than the diner.
True. The diner does have some operating costs too. So it's not just a one-time cost of putting up the building.
No, but as long as you're margin positive, which at their volume, if they're not there, shut it down. But I imagine their I imagine they are cash flow positive.
I would hope so, right? I would hope so. But it does beg the question about what are their long-term plans with this? How many diners are we going to see across the country?
Yes. And could they franchise it? Would they, if they said, we're going to start designing a Tesla Diner franchise network. If you are an experienced restaurateur with franchise experience, reach out to us. We'll put you in our pipeline. Could that be a thing? Would that work?
Well, it would make more sense from my perspective rather than Tesla trying to do this themselves. I'd much rather have the company focused on Robotaxi, Optimus, and other ventures than the restaurant business, as exciting as that may be. And I still have not been tempted to put the restaurant business in my models. I've not added a line item for that.
I've also the line item I would call it is marketing. But do you think it could be successful? It'd be different than some franchises are very cheap to get into. This one, I imagine you would have to have a more expensive build cost. I think they'd want it to look cool and retro. And then it wouldn't be as cookie cutter because it'd be low volume. But I think you could absolutely do it. And we're having fun here. the question is, would that be something people would want to see? Is it novel because there's only one, or could it be sufficiently novel that you could have 10 or 20 or
I think
100?
well, I think you can get to that point when I think Optimus plays a greater role. For now, Optimus just dishing out popcorn is kinda cool, it's kind of a party trick. But if we get Optimus doing more work in the diner, then the diner becomes a destination for everybody, right?
Yes.
And so until then, I'm not so sure about it. Now, the one thing that I've talked about for a long time is that it would be cool if they kind of made different charging stations destination stops, and this is an opportunity perhaps to do that. And for that to work, you kinda need something different about each diner and each location to make you want to go to each one,
Make
right?
them make them collectible so that you've got a checklist. I've seen the the Roswell one that
Right.
is themed appropriately.
Yes. Right.
So
The
and
Optimus looks like an alien at Roswell. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this in China. There's a animatronic sort of Jurassic Park, and they've got a little unitary dog dressed as a baby Stegosaurus that interacts with the children. It's adorable.
Mhm.
Uh, and that is a robot doing real work today. That is something that is a valuable use case for them from a robot that has very little utility. Uh, it can run around. Perfect.
Yeah.
Uh, so, in terms of restaurants, is there money to be made? I know some brands struggle more than others. I know McDonald's had been very successful for a very long time, and they apparently have found that their value proposition doesn't make sense. It's not very good food, and it's no longer cheap or fast. Uh, but this, but we are seeing other brands like Habit Burger, which is owned now by Yum Brands, who owns Taco Bell, Long John Silver, KFC, A&W, and Pizza Hut. Yum Brands bought Habit Burger and haven't destroyed the quality, have been able to expand it. Uh, I mean, my question for you and everybody is this something we want to see?
Well, I think the differentiator with the Tesla Diner is the fact that they locally source as much of the food as they can. And I
Mhm,
think that's a differentiating factor. Now the question is, do people really care about that?
mhm.
Right? I think some do, but is it enough to make a difference? And is it enough to have a restaurant that becomes this destination that people say, "Oh, yeah, they locally source this food. This is fantastic. I want to go there," over going to some other place.
Sure. But Shake Shack and Five Guys have premium burgers at premium prices. And that doesn't mean that the ingredients are local. It just means that they're good. Uh, we've heard rumor of another restaurant experience coming to Texas, uh, perhaps at Starbase. Have you heard about that?
I've heard rumblings of that. That would be fun. I think Starbase is a pretty cool destination as it is, and
I think it needs food.
yeah, exactly. People show up hungry right after traveling there. I think that would be really neat, and that would be a really cool opportunity to really make one that's space themed more so than the one in Los Angeles is. Not that that isn't, but even more so.
Yes, I would agree with you though. The LA one is more of a retro futurism kind of diner.
Yeah,
And you could maintain that kind of aesthetic, but lean harder into the rocket side of it
yeah.
for uh for Starbase. Starbase needs it needs a visitor center. And I'm telling you guys, you can charge admission. We're gonna pay. And the same with the restaurant. It'd be
If
I would love to see the High Bay Cafe or whatever, because there's views to be had.
if they would stop blowing up the starships, Brian, and the boosters, they could use those for restaurant buildings that people could sit inside. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea. Uh, guys, if you haven't been to Starbase, get down there before you can't. I'm confident at some point the roads will be closed. The little side road down to the Rocket Garden is already closed. You can't do that anymore. And the scale of these things is beyond human comprehension. They could be significantly smaller and they would look the same size. They're just so huge that when we were getting B-roll of the top of just a booster, not even a full stack, you could see atmospheric distortion because it's so far from you, even though it's right there.
Mm.
They're very, very big, very inspiring. And one bit of advice I would like to offer to anyone considering opening a restaurant on their own is don't. The failure rate is very high. Any thoughts on that? What do we miss here?
Well, except people have to eat, Brian. So restaurants
Oh yeah,
overall.
no, yeah.
Yeah,
Let someone else fail is what I'm saying.
exactly.
Don't use your money.
Yeah.
And in that regard, that's a perfect opportunity for franchising. And if it's something as exclusive as this, you can pick from just restaurateurs who already have ample experience with multiple brands. There are a lot of people who will own, a handful of Subways and a handful of whatever else. That, yeah, is one way to do it.
The
Uh,
the
yes,
point of view I have, I think, is it's kind of cool to have a restaurant. It's could be kind of a neat destination option. I would rather that speaking as a shareholder, I would rather the company focus on Robotaxi and Optimus. But once they're making hundreds of billions of dollars in profit on those businesses, then sure, I'm okay expanding the restaurant business. But right now, I don't really want any executives taking their time away from any other things to focus
right.
on this.
I agree. That's why I would love to see, if this were to happen, partner with somebody who knows how to do it and let them deal with it. And the only real involvement I've seen is Franz von Holzhausen goes out to the diner. I got to chat with him there. It was our second time meeting. He remembered me. That's amazing. I don't know if he remembered that he's agreed to an interview twice, but I'll keep reaching out. One of these days, I'm sure that yes will turn into a actual time on the calendar to make it happen. But I'm not going to be obnoxious because uh, I wouldn't want that. And I wouldn't want to be, I don't reward people who do that. And I hope he won't either. Anyway, uh, shareholder meeting coming up in just a couple of weeks. I will be in Austin. If anyone else is coming to Austin, we will be coordinating all kinds of meetups. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sir, I thank you for coming and hanging out on this very, very important topic. Clearly, this is what everyone wants to know. So, you guys, that's what we're doing.
They should build a diner at the visitor center that they're building in Austin.
That would be, yeah, that would be great. That's a
That
great
would be a
idea.
logical place to have one.
Well, there is a coffee shop at the Bastrop Boring Bodega.
I've been there.
And
It's a nice
yeah,
place, but it's not quite up to the standard.
no.
Diner.
It's a little town market is what it
Yep.
is, and that's what it's designed to be. Yeah, low budget, low impact, a good impact, but not, we're not changing the world here. So, guys,
If
in the comments,
you want candy,
yeah,
Brian, that's a good place to go to get it.
if you want to buy a mug that has a hole all the way through the middle of it that says
Yep.
the Boring Company, it's a good place to get it. Guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? What are your thoughts on a restaurant? And are you in line to open one? Because I think it'd be cool. And for that matter, where are you? Where are you going to open it? Because I need to know that too, so I can jot it down. Everybody else, like, subscribe. Please do subscribe. YouTube is really giving me a hard time lately. And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots at the diner.
Thanks, Brian.